Hey everybody, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about what you can do to improve a negative ROAS, right? And by negative ROAS, I don't mean that you're spending money and literally losing money on the end. What I mean when I say that is your ROAS is performing under your target KPI, whether that be break even or a certain low profit point. So let's talk about one of the ways that you can improve a negative ROAS. There can be a ton of reasons why your ROAS is tanking, but here are one of the things that it could be. So I'll show you what the problem is and show you how to solve it, okay? So first thing you want to do is go into your ads manager and set up your columns so that you can see these three things. You want to see your cost per click, your click-through rate, and your frequency. So if you're not familiar, let's go through what exactly these are. Your cost per click is how much money does it cost to get one person to click on your ad, right? Your click-through rate is what percentage of people in your audience are clicking through your ad onto your landing page or website. And your frequency is how many times are people in your audience being shown this particular ad. So here's where they all link together, right? So let's say your ROAS is underperforming, it's under the KPI target, right? First thing to check is if your cost per click is increasing. Is it getting more expensive to convince somebody to click on the ad? Is it getting more expensive? If it is, then the next thing we look at is the click-through rate. What percentage of people are clicking through to this ad? So if you have the KPI for this and you know that your click-through rate should be between 10 and 20%, but this is performing at 7%, it's underperforming, then that's something that we really have to pay attention to. Is your click-through rate decreasing? Are less people in your audience choosing to click through to your landing page when they see your ad? If this condition is met, the next thing we want to look at is the frequency. How many times are people in this audience being shown this ad, right? So here we want to break this down to two things. First, is the overall frequency going up? If so, this may not be a good sign. Facebook is telling you that these people is getting more expensive for them to click. They're not so quick to click through, and they're seeing the ad more and more and more. So if your frequency is, let's say, 5, then that may be a little high for you depending on what's normal for your audience. But if these conditions are met, then yeah, it's probably high. Now, another thing we want to look at, this isn't in your columns, but I can show you how you can get to it. It is going to be your first time impression ratio. So we'll call it FIR for now, okay? So if you go to your ad set level, and you go to your columns, you can't add this as a column, but if you click over to the delivery column, the default delivery column, and you hover over an ad set, it may show delivery insights. Now, Facebook didn't roll this out for all ad accounts, so if you don't have it, that's fine. I'll show you how to calculate it anyway. And you'll also have to make sure before testing this with the delivery feature that you meet the conditions for delivery insights. I think it's something like you have to be running that ad set for 7 days straight without any major changes, and it has to have at least 500 impressions. But let's say you don't have access to delivery insights. How do you calculate your first time impression ratio? It's simple. You do your daily reach, so you choose the day that you're observing this, the reach for that day, divided by the total impressions for that day. And you will get your first time impression ratio. So, why is this important? Your first time impression ratio is how many new people are seeing this ad for the first time out of this audience, right? So it's not a good sign if your first time impression ratio is decreasing while your frequency is increasing. It means that in a room of 10 people, the amount of people in that room, let's say half of them in that room, are seeing this ad over and over and over, Whereas the other 5 people who haven't seen that ad, the amount of them who get exposed to it as each day goes on is decreasing. So all these signs indicate that your creative may be exhausted. So this is known in the industry as creative fatigue. This just means that your audience is sick and tired of seeing that same picture, that same video. They've already registered their interest in it or lack thereof, and you just keep showing them the same ad, which is why it's getting more expensive for you to advertise and you're not getting that much more out of it. So the way to fix this is moving another winning ad, another winning creative from a different audience, so another ad set that you're testing, and moving that winning creative over into this audience, and you test to see how they respond to it. This ad has already been proven to win, so you know that people like this picture or this video or this carousel or this DPA, and they're responding well to it, they're purchasing, they're engaging with it, and you go ahead and move that from a different ad set over to this ad set. So I would just quickly duplicate it over and then make any minor adjustments necessary to make it relevant to this audience. And that has been working really well for my clients, and it's worked well in the past, it's working well now, and it really helps turn this underperforming ROAS right back up to just that KPI or over. And so yeah, that's one of the ways that you can bring your ROAS from underperforming back to where it needs to be so that you can continue to scale and continue to advertise profitably. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, got some value out of it. If you are an e-commerce business, this is especially important for you. And I will be making more videos to outline ways that you can optimize your account. So go ahead and like, comment, and definitely subscribe so that you can get more content like this. Peace.